Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be taking a look at, in my opinion, the coolest utility knife they've ever come out with, ever. I caught wind of this. My buddy Rob on Facebook had sent me a message showing me this design. I knew the second I saw the video that I was going to get one. Then I had a couple other people tell me about it on Facebook and Instagram, and someone might even commented on one of my older videos. And then I actually saw someone who I follow on YouTube make a video on it and stuff. And I thought, you know what, it's time to go out and get this thing already. So I went to Lowe's. I bought myself two of them. It was a little hard to find because it was in a separate section than the other utility knives. But I did find them. They were $17.98 each. And that was, I think, 2 days ago. And I have one in the package still, just to show you how it comes in the package. And then I also have one that I've been using. All right. So this is what the package looks like. All right, like I said, right now 18 bucks. Obviously prices will always vary. There's the SKU number on top there, TBH4S203. Well, maybe that's a model number. The SKU number would be there, I suppose. But anyway, so yeah, so the deal with these is it's a utility knife that utilizes magazines, just like a gun, which is a phenomenal idea. I love it. It's super, super cool. It has a fidget factor, but it actually works. It's actually a really good functional utility knife. All right, so if you use these things day in and day out for your trade, this would be a cool thing to have. So it does come with 2 magazines, and it does come with 5 straight blades and 5 of these double-sided hook blades, all right, which I'll show you in just a second. So here's basically what's going on here. We have a regular utility knife, push the button down and forward, all right, and our blades locked out, and you know, use your knife. Everyone's familiar with that, right? What separates this is when the blade is dull. Obviously we only have half that blade exposed. When it's dull, there's a button on the back. You push in the button, you take out the blade, you can flip it around, use the other side. All right, so each blade you really kind of get 2 uses out of it, even though it's just one blade. But when that goes dull, usually you pop this out and pop a new blade in, right? Well, in this case, all you have to do is recharge it. So button comes back, button goes forward, and what do you know? Like magic, it strips off another blade from the internal magazine. How cool is that? All right, so blade goes dull. All right, pop it out. There you go, you got another blade. Blade goes dull, pop it out. And there you go, another blade, right? So here's the magazine release on the side. Magazine shoots out. It is kind of spring loaded there. It does actually shoot out. All right, it's a little bit of pressure. And here's how you reload the magazine. You push this top piece forward and up. You can see this part here is what's actually reloading. It loads up to 5 blades. All right, so there's 2 in there right now. We'll put the other 3 in. There's a little metal tab here, and it's underneath is a spring. So what you want to do is kind of push down and slide those in place. All right, so you have 5 on top. These are nice and oiled, brand new blades. Obviously, oil is going to keep it from rusting, but it also makes things a little difficult sometimes and slippery. So the blade itself you want to get lined up. There we go. And like I say, push down and also slide down. And there you go. So 5 up top. You can hold another 5 down on the bottom for reserves. So you have 10 full blades, obviously 20 half-size blades. All right, so when your blade gets dull, you could repeat that 19 times from one magazine. You don't have to remove the magazine to access the first 5. But then obviously after that, you would take these 5 and load them up front. What a cool design. Now what's really neat about this is if you do want to use different specialty blades, or if you just want to have extra blades at hand, if you're going through them like crazy, maybe you do carpentry or something, you're just cutting and cutting and cutting all day long. You pop out a magazine, pop in a new magazine. All right, and this new magazine here, the first one up front, I have the hook blades that comes with it. All right. And I also have some serrated blades. Now the serrated blades did not come with this knife. I bought those separately, but I just wanted to show you this. So let's say you wanted to alternate the blades, you could do that too. So I have a hook blade in there right now. But if I want to take that out, push the button, pop it out. And the next one I have loaded up in here is a serrated blade. All right, so you can have a magazine full of serrated blades, a magazine full of plain edge blades. You can do all kinds of different things. So just really, really neat. Let me pop that mag out. Show you this real quick. So I have the serrated up top. I'm actually going to put this other serrated blade on the top because this is how I prefer to carry it. All right, so my spare mags are all serrated. Push that down and in. And then I have these hook blades on the bottom in reserve. All right, very, very cool. So access to a serrated blade. I want a plain edge, pop it out, new mag, goes in, and you have a plain edge blade ready to go. How cool is this thing? I mean, it definitely has a huge gimmick, but the gimmick actually works. It is 100% functional. It's physically a large knife, all right, so you get a good grip on it. These parts on the front here, as well as the back, is kind of like a very hard rubber plastic type feel to it. You can see there is kind of, it's almost like a finger guard, all right? So I've noticed in practicing and using this that if I hold my grip back here, it keeps my hand from sliding forward, so it is functional there. Sometimes I put my finger around the front end, gives me a place to rest my finger. But also if I'm using this in reverse, I've only done this 2 times, but it kind of gives your thumb a stop point here. So you can put pressure on your thumb to really grip it, but you're not going to slide forward towards that blade. So this little nub sticking out here is actually extremely purposeful. So I really do like that a lot. Obviously in the bottom position, it locks like a normal, utility knife. When it's open, it kind of locks in position there. All right, so it's not going to easily open up in your pocket or anything like that. No pocket clip or anything like that on this particular one. If you notice, there are some notches and this yellow piece of plastic in there. Let me zoom in and show you that real quick. This is optional. You don't have to use this, but these are basically indicators for the magazine. All right, so I don't know if you could see, get the light right. So it's number 1, number 2, number 3. Right now, this is my second magazine, so I have this set to number 2. If I wanted to, you could slide that over and set it back to number 1, 2 or 3. And this is just a quick visual so you know what the magazine's loaded with. So let's say you have a couple magazines full of plain edge blades and they're all number 1s. So you look in your toolbox, whatever, you can grab that and just have a quick visual as opposed to having to try to figure out what's on the edge there. All right, so it's just it's not something you have to use, but I did actually utilize it in this case. So these are number 1s. This is number 2, which has the specialty serrated blades as well as the hook blades on there. So yeah, ToughBuilt Reload utility knife. I think this thing is the bee's knees. It's just super cool, super fun to play with. I have to say that. I mean, I just can't stop just opening it, closing it, and playing around with it. It's a very, very cool design, extremely useful. Anyway, like I said, there's a huge gimmicky thing here. Obviously, if you're a gun guy or a gun gal, it's really fun to just unload and load magazines. I mean, that's just something that we do all the time when we're practicing and stuff. But it actually has a massive practical application here. All right, so you have your blade at ready, but when your blade goes dull, you don't necessarily have to pull a blade in and try to fish one back. I mean, it pulls out quick. All right, once you're done. I noticed that when this is all the way open, if you push back just a tiny bit, that allows this to go down. If it's all the way forward, for some reason, it's a little bit harder. So once this is actually open, just make sure you push that all the way down, and the button's easy to push, and pop that blade out, and then just retract it, and there you go, loads another blade. Just like a firearm loads ammo, you have ammunition in the magazine, you fire a round, round's gone now, right? You need a new round? Well, just you retract it, and there you go. You got a new one at the ready. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to pick these up before I even talked about it because I was afraid that they were going to sell out. A lot of people are going to watch this video and they're going to go right to Lowe's and they're going to buy these things up. And I would say get them now while you can. This is a new product. I'm not sure how long it'll last. I don't know if it's going to be popular. What's really nice is that these do utilize regular blades with these 2 notches, so they're not proprietary blades. I did get another one of these, a totally different design, which I'll do a separate video on, that does use proprietary blades, but I think it is almost equally as cool. And we'll talk about that in a separate video. But yeah, there it is, the magazine-fed utility knife. I'm just telling you, I mean, it's hard not to play with this thing. It's just super, super fun. So yeah, there you go. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer around the house or whether you actually need these for your occupation day in and day out, I think this is something you can certainly rely on. If you do actually get one of these and you are some kind of contractor of some sort and you're using your utility knives day in and day out, please do come back after a week's usage, a month's usage, a year. Let everyone know in the comment section how it's worked out for you long term. But so far, after a couple days of just non-stop playing with this thing, it is awesome. I just really, really like it. So that's all. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.